My guest today is Stacy Sanchez, director of the No Kids Hungry Texas campaign. So more than 50 mayors across the United States recently joined a new initiative called the Mayors Alliance to End Childhood Hunger. So Stacy, why don't you start by talking about this initiative?
Absolutely, and thank you so much for having me today. No Kid Hungry, is part of the Share Our Strength,
Mhm.
launched a national campaign last week called the Mayors Alliance to End Child Hunger. It's a nonpartisan
Mhm.
group. I'm very proud to share that four Texas mayors have
Mhm.
joined that initiative, including Fort Worth's Mayor Mattie Parker,
Yep.
as well as Ron Nierenberg in San Antonio, Steve Adler in Austin, uh, Sylvester Turner in Houston, and I'm sorry, Eric Johnson in
Mhm.
Dallas. That's a
Sure.
total of five.
Okay.
So we're very excited to have them on. And really the purpose of that group is to form a coalition, working with mayors across the nation,
Mhm.
sharing best practices, creating policies and thinking about combating childhood hunger in their states and cities.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you reminded us that, of course, Mayor Mattie Parker's on board. That's important. That's part of why we're here
Yeah,
talking about this. All right, so a couple questions here. We're talking about childhood hunger. It's a big topic, but
right.
how pervasive is this problem?
We know right now in Texas, up to 1 in 4 children could experience hunger or food insecurity here. Hunger shows up in really different ways. It's a much more pervasive problem than I think, folks interpret it to be. And I just wanted to share some different
Yeah,
ways it
sure.
could look. So some of the ways it can look like is, parents making the decision to go without eating their dinner that night so their kids can eat. It
Mhm.
looks like kind of empty refrigerators when kids go home. We know consistently the number one place where kids who do experience hunger and food insecurity, their number one source of food is school.
Mhm.
And so, we're really trying to help think about where we can bridge those gaps outside of school. I
Mhm.
think, people think about it usually around like the holidays, but hunger is very pervasive. It exists year round. And that's a lot of our work to try to support communities, school nutrition departments, food banks,
Mhm.
in service of increasing meal access for our fellow Texans.
Are ethnic minorities more at risk of going hungry? If so, can you guess why?
Sure. I'll do a little bit better than guess, but I do know we do see, right, that communities of color are disproportionately impacted by
Yeah.
hunger and food insecurity. And I mean, there are certainly many reasons for that. We know hunger is a symptom of poverty, right? And a lot of our work is also committed to anti-poverty and trying
Mhm.
to address the symptoms, to larger systemic issues, about why people experience this. But
Mhm.
we know the pandemic has really laid bare that it is indeed very, very present, in many homes across Texas.
What socioeconomic problems this kind of related can lead to childhood hunger? What's happening to these families?
I think, we see hunger, particularly since the onset of the pandemic, in many different ways, right? Someone lost their job suddenly, or something changed due to the pandemic, and they find themselves kind of in crises. People who work sort of, paycheck to paycheck, working poor. And so I think, a lot of things happen, just life happens, right? Someone loses
Yeah.
a job, someone gets laid off, and then we also have folks who experience kind of intergenerational poverty that has been, part of their, experience and part of their parents' experience. And we really try to think about ways where we can move that needle and move those folks out of that cycle permanently and find sustainable sources of food for them.
Okay. We've touched on some of the ways this program will help. This new initiative will help. Obviously, it's early on, and you're still still trying to figure out exactly what those will look like. But how will
Right.
they be different? I know schools already have programs to help with food assistance. What's going to be different about this new initiative that has more than 50 mayors working together?
I think mayors have a very special platform in
Mhm.
their towns and their cities and communities. And we've seen mayors be really inventive and creative in the past. And just to share some examples with you
Yeah.
of what it's looked like in the past and what it could look like in the future. Certainly, mayors have, the wherewithal to support and pass equitable and inclusive policies that improve access to school breakfast and after school meals, summer meals, and SNAP. They
Mhm.
have the power to kind of create and push and market those policies to bring more families in. You know, they can use their platform to be a champion for child nutrition programs and for the kids we've talked about. And then something else I know that this alliance is working on, you know, across all programs, is establishing a children's cabinet or convene a task force on childhood hunger.
Okay.
So there's many actionable steps they can take.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Your website's mayorshungeralliance.org. We encourage folks to visit that. If people want to get involved, if they care about this, what can they do?
Absolutely. I mean, if your mayor is not one of the ones I've mentioned, you know, please be a good advocate for yourself and your community members. Call your mayor, let them know
Mhm.
you're interested in joining or want
Okay.
to help or learn more about it. Visit the website, visit our website at No Kid Hungry /Texas to learn more about our work and how you can get involved.
Okay, folks, visit their website, make a donation if you care about this, and
Yeah.
talk to your local politicians and mayors and tell them to get on board this new initiative. So, Stacey, we wish you the best of luck. We're very proud that our mayor signed on to this, and
Yeah.
we're glad Fort Worth is a part of this national effort. And again, we just wish you the best of luck with this. Keep us updated.
Thanks so much, Ed. I appreciate the time.
Thanks for your time.